Mind yourself. Hi, this is Aide Adum. You can call me the voice merchant. We're going to cover public speaking, presentation, we're going to cover voiceover, and what I want you to come away from this masterclass with, one thing, courage. And just get you to that point where you are confident, because that's who you are.
I know you can take it. I know you can make it. Doesn't matter what you're going through. You're strong enough to do what you got to do. Yeah.
You need to learn to see your mind as an application, as an app. Your mind is an app. Maybe I should say your mind is the app. So I took a trip. This was years ago. I was facilitating for a training company, and they did trainings for banks and for multinational companies. So I traveled to Warri, and I was supposed to speak to senior management at a particular bank. I can't even remember what bank it is exactly. But if I held up, let's say, 12 numbers in front of you, 12 numbers, I think that's about how many numbers you have on a recharge card. Is it 12 or 16? I think it's 12. It's like 12? Yeah. 12, yeah? Okay. So if I held up a recharge card in front of you for a few seconds, do you think you could memorize the numbers?
Depending on the mindset.
Yeah. Okay, she said depending on the mindset and if they're big enough. Well, the thing is this, you can. You can. And I've proven it many times over, and we could have done the same thing, but I didn't come with a recharge card, Things have changed. But I lived a few years in the Gambia, and that was some time back. But what used to happen then was that you would go to, they call them telecenters, where you make calls. And when you would get to the telecenter to make your call, usually you'd pay money and they'd give you a slip. And on the slip there would be a code. So you would load the code on your phone, and that would be your credit, and then you could make your calls. What I did not know and did not realize until later, where there were a couple of young boys, touts, that would hang around the telecenter. And when you bought your airtime for your phone, and you took out that slip, and you were loading it, they would walk past you, and they would just peep over your shoulder, and they would memorize the number and quickly load it before you can load it. So by the time you load it, it'll just tell you that this card has been used. So you go back to the teller and say, look, you gave me an expired. No, I didn't. I printed it from the machine. It's not expired, but somebody has loaded it already. So those guys figured out that I can use my mind like an application. Once you separate yourself from your mind and begin to use it like a tool, you really begin to dig out the possibilities, the things that your mind can do. Now, if I hadn't seen it, I probably wouldn't know that it was possible to just glance at 12 numbers at a glance and take that picture and be able to memorize it at a moment. But it's possible. It's possible. Your mind is a tool. We're still talking about your mind. The interesting thing is, and I learned this some time back, I can't remember exactly who I learned it from, but with concentration and focus, the more you concentrate and the more you focus, the less you actually know. So, for instance, I read medicine, okay? And I am a general practitioner of medicine, right? I want to become a surgeon. So what do? I specialize. And what that means is that I can't read broad medicine the way everybody reads broad medicine. Now I have to leave the broad scene and focus on surgery. So I actually know less. Now I get into surgery, and in surgery I decide I want to become a brain surgeon. Now, because I have focused on brain surgery, I know nothing about skin surgery, I know nothing about bone surgery All I know is brain surgery. So I'm not in the medical field, so I don't know, but I would guess that if you got yourself a brain surgeon who was really like specialized in maybe brain stem surgery, and you asked him, I have a headache, what do you think I should take for it? He'll probably just look at you like, you should go to the hospital. Why? Because he has focused on one aspect. Now, if you touch anything that has to do with brain stem surgery, I mean, he has a whole lot that he can teach you. So focus actually makes you, and that's why I said, when you focus, you actually know less. You know less about everything, but you know more about what you are focused on.
In a world where you click subscribe, go on, click the button,